Hello. Oh, please forgive my ugly ass, brother. Hopefully everything is public. Because live 62. Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. First off, I apologize that this video is done in my car. Super busy today. Friend came into town. Driving all around. But when you have the word of the Lord, it doesn't matter where you are or where you're at to deliver the message. So I'm gonna get straight to the point. I can't really read many comments because I want to say what I need to say. All of you have heard Tiffany's video. Wonderful, beautiful, amazing prophet of the Lord. Period. Period. And I understand her. I understand her as a prophet. I understand her as a woman of God. I understand her as a woman who has that Elisha mantle. When you are called to stand against systems, it's a little bit different than just talking about regular issues. She's explained what happened to her at a specific church, and I do believe she was talking about the same church that I experienced things at. I'm gonna go ahead and just start. I was 17 years old. I knew about God, but I didn't go to church. I didn't necessarily get into it. I went to a church in Chicago through my aunt in the Spanish community. It was great. It was amazing. That was that. I meet this man who calls himself a prophet at an event that my mom's church had. And this was a man who went to the church. He worked for their sound or media or some type of graphic design back in 2008. I was 17 years old in 2008. So I am getting there. He tells me, you're a prophet, you're this, you're that, you're called to do this, you're this. Again, I have no language for this. I don't know what I thinking about. I don't know what's been said to me. And so this is all new knowledge. Again, somebody who is new to any subject is easily more naive than anybody else, especially when you're in an environment where you think you should trust those people. So this is a prophet. Hey, I'm your spiritual father, this and the other. God has placed you on my heart, and I'm just in there like, yeah, I don't know. He gives me his number. He wants to have a meeting. Next thing you know, we're in a homosexual relationship. So this person who said he was supposed to be my spiritual father and mentor and prophet and guide and all this other stuff, we're sleeping together. I was going to this particular church. The church started to pick up on what was going on, and mind you, this person was in their mid-20s, I think 26 at the time, and I was 17. So I would go to church alone with him, two guys, and everybody knew, So I went through that. I didn't want to leave him because I was more loyal to that. I ended up getting a situation where I am at this church, who is now the Church of Topic. And the pastors there find out. They finally tell me, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? And I'm like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I built up the courage after going through whatever I had to go through with God. And I end up confessing to them that I was in a relationship with this person, and they end up having a meeting with the person. I don't know what was discussed. And from my understanding, they told the person that they are to either stop engaging in sexual relationships with men, or they are to leave the church. Now, I've spoken to that person, years back, and they said they never told them that. They told them to leave the church, immediately leave, immediately get out, no affiliation, basically banned. They banned him, and they took me in. because at that time I was the victim. So they take me in and they're saying, hey, you know, all of this stuff. I give you a timeline of how fast things move. I visited church on Thursday night that had just regular Bible study. Sunday was my first Sunday, and Tuesday I was up prophesying in prophetic class. Mind you, I don't know what a prophet is, don't know what prophecy is. I get up there and say, hey, this is you need to prophesy. You're this, you're this, you're that. So when things are talked about in Tiffany's live of the lure that some people have, it's very much so true. And it is so distinct and masterfully done that you have people like Michael Jackson, you have people like Bill Cosby, you have people like R. Kelly who are able to live wonderful, legendary lives, but still not understand that there's a level of abuse and hurt and damaging effects that is going on. And even if they themselves who are in charge are not doing it, because they know about it, sweetie, you're part of the issue. This is what we talk about when we say the church. We're not talking about the members. Let's not talk about the members. When I say the church, me personally, I do mean the church, but I mean leadership. People who tell you what to do, how to act, what is okay with God and what is not okay. When those people violate their own preaching, that I cannot stand for. I just can't. So with this, you know, being 17 years old, I get there, I'm moving, I'm in the church, I'm family, I have a situation going on with my own place. I move in with these people, sorry, let me not say these people because I absolutely love them. Absolutely love these people. I would have died for these people. I would have given everything for these people. But when you realize that these people are not who they say they are, it's more damaging than if the person got exposed. Sweetie, I don't care about exposing anybody. I don't care about exposing the truth. If it's not me, it's the Holy Ghost who exposes it. Don't be mad at me. I'm not the person that you need to be upset with or afraid of or anything like that. It's a lot. So I get there, I'm raised. I end up living with the pastors for years. About 5 years I lived with them. Then I roommated with someone else. And then, you know, I was always everyone who knew this particular place knew me. I was there for nearly 10 years. Nearly 10 years from the beginning, way before the millions of views, way before all of this. That's why it hurts me. I would be there. I would pray over chairs. I would stand and touch every chair that we had. I would set up the sound. I would plug in all 9 mics. I would set the drums up. I would go ahead and bring the chords. I would go to the attic, pick that thing up. I would do what I have to do to set the church up, to go ahead and make sure they get a good service going, to make sure so-and-so's. I had no knowledge of sound. I actually hated it. Sweetie, don't put me to work like that. I don't know what I'm doing. You say plug this in here, plug that in there. So I began to work for free. How many of you know one for free? So I began to do all this stuff, and I didn't care about it because that is my father now. You know, I love this person. I would do anything for him. I would do anything for these people. And so for me, the vantage point is it's hurtful. It's so hurtful because you have just so much is intertwined in this web that you only have two opposites. Like Tiffany said, you're either going to be blind and choose not to see certain things, or you're going to know and choose to ignore. Period. Point blank, period. And I have always been a prophet, and I will always be a prophet. So one thing I cannot stand is pride and self-exalted things at all. If you exalt yourself, sweetie, at the end of the day, you're an idol and you will have to come down. And I had a conversation with the pastor one time, and I had told him, when I was doing my own soul searching, I have made you an idol in my life, and I apologize for making you compete with God, because that's all I did. I sat him in that seat where God was supposed to be. And what happened? God had to take him down. So God is a jealous God, but he is also just. So he will go ahead and do whatever he has to do to make sure that things get done where everybody's protected in a way. So I do this, I get all of this, and I've always struggled with homosexuality. There's no guessing to that, you know. So I came in like that. I've always been a rebel, to say. I've always said that it's been told I had a smart mouth. You know, Jay's mouth is this, Jay's mouth is that. Be careful. He's going to say what he wants to say. He's going to do what he wants to do. Yada, 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 whatever the case may be. So I remember a huge fall is in 2015, I believe. Me and this other person who was also like a son to the pastor, we engaged in a sexual act at a conference. At a conference where, you know, you're supposed to be getting a lot more spiritual things and a lot less physical things, you know. So that still happens to this day, you know. Let's not fake it anymore. Now's the chance to actually say what needs to be said. So we engage in sex at this conference, and I feel extremely, in the moment, I felt like I was preyed on, because I would have never slept with this person, never would have known to sleep with, didn't have any desires. We slept in the same bed because, you know, we're getting our monies together, going broke for these damn conferences that we're spending money on, getting all of these paying other people's stuff in full while your stuff is in empty. No, darling, don't do that. You cannot continue to pay for these conferences. $50 for this class, $120 for this registration. Make sure you get it by this date. Do it at this time. Make sure press this. Oh, you want to speak this? You want a prophetic word? Blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But turn around and say, oh, how dare people charge for this, charge for that. You're doing the same thing. You're just charging for knowledge and stuff that should be free. You're charging for a new Bible is what you're doing, because people who had the Bible back then, everybody wasn't accessible to it. So as religious folks, they said, oh, we have something exclusive. So guess what? We're going to make you pay for it. We're going to make you work for it. We're going to make you go ahead and do what you need to do so that you can be like this. But guess what? Since we have the advantage, we're going to set the rules. We're going to say what we need to say. We're going to do what we need to do. And only we have the knowledge. So if you have any questions, talk to us and go over there, and then we'll be your priest from and to God. Doesn't work like that. So get to this conference. I'm sorry, there's just a whole lot. But you get to this conference, and you know, all of this. After that, 2015, I was living with them. I was told to get out, basically. I had nowhere to physically go. As a 2015, I was, how old? It's 4 years ago. So I was 20. Oh, this was 2015. Yeah, I was early 20s. I was living there since about 18. So I had nowhere to go after years of living with this particular pastor. Had nowhere to go, nothing to do. Like, I had to be forced to go back to an environment that I came from, because I slept with somebody in the church that was a male, that was also close to the man of God. So I was told that things since then changed drastically. Once you violate certain rules and images are played out, oh, you're blackballed. And because me, I'm nobody. I came from nothing. So I wasn't a threat. I was not a threat. It was more so of a succumbing this one, because this one has a lot in him. He has a lot of truth. He has a lot of stuff. And if we don't get that together, this is going to happen. And it's been said plenty of times of people saying, oh, we can't even say nothing to Jay because this and that, whatever the case may be. So I was kicked out. I go back to my mom's house. I'm there for 6 months and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I can't stay here. I'm leaving. I got a roommate with somebody. I'm doing what I have to do. If I have to live in a car, like whatever I have to do, I can't get back to this environment. So, no. There's a question that popped up and I'll just address that now and the rest of the people can leave. We never had anything sexual go on. Never. Never, never, never. And this live is not about that. It's not about any rumors. This is about truth. So you can be patient and listen to the story, or you can watch the replay. So get this, and I was told not to, engage. So we had to be separated because we were in the same clique, basically. And the clique of being the apostles' children. Yes, that was a very destructive clique. Like, so many people wanted to be in this clique of nothing, of nobodies, like people who were teenagers running influence in the church. And I was a part of that because I was adopted as a son. I was taken in, and I even found myself looking at people differently. And that's how religion gets infiltrated in your mind, to where you feel like you're higher than, because you're part of the fivefold, because I'm a prophet, because I'm this, because I'm an intercessor. Sweetie, my level of intelligence or my whatever I am, that means I'm closer to God because I know more about him. No, you don't. You probably know more about him and are farther away from him. So we get that, and it's been a few months or so. Again, as a man who deals with homosexuality, as a man in general, it's very hard to control your sexual desires. And whoever says different is whatever. So it ended up happening again. And this was, so 2 times that I've slept with someone in the church. And it was twice. Mind you, this same person was being dealt with because they were a part of a church that engaged in orgies. Physical orgies, not spiritual. Darling, I'm not talking about nothing spiritual right now. People will get together after choir rehearsal, after whatever they need to do, stick their penises inside another nigga's butt. Yes, that's exactly what goes on. And it goes on till presently, period. Okay? So I get this. I get the backlash because at this point, it's the first real, like, church betrayal-ish type of thing. We were growing, everything's good, and then my sons sleep together. Whoa, this is crazy. So everybody's learning how to deal with this, but in the midst, the way people have been treated is wrong. And I know if somebody have talked to me and said, oh, well, I understand you're upset of how things have been handled. No, it's not about handling. Again, Tiffany says she's sat on this for 2 years. I have sat on it for years. I have continued to call people, reach out, whatever the case may be. So let's fast forward. So we end up having that happens. This person is still allowed to armor bearer, the one that I slept with. I can't do anything. I get off the prophetic team, get off the intercessors team, get off of the prayer Tuesdays. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't basically come in and sit your butt down, listen to the word, and go ahead and leave. So that was happening. He's still armor bearing. He's still singing on praise and worship. He's still going out to the ministry engagements as the armor bearer, as the prophetic psalmist, whatever the case may be. How is it that I am a son who lived and all of this stuff, and I'm being treated like shh? Oh, because I don't offer anything. That's what it is. I'm not a singer. I'm not a musician. If you're a musician, please. You're a musician, you're golden. I don't offer things about their finances or branding or anything that can benefit their growth in the mass because I'm not that person. Oh, okay. We need him this much. We need that person over there because he knows how to brand. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do that. Sweetie, you end up in situations like this. So that was that. Ends up happening. So fast forward, I get this person who comes on to me. And in the church, that was the person that I actually slept with. One person, 2 occasions, and only 2, and only one person. Mind you, people who are presently there lived with their boyfriends. Not only did they live with them, these are pastors, people who are on the payroll till this day. They get paid to stick their dick in someone else, darling. Your tithes pay someone's salary to have fun and take their men on dates, darling. That's where your tithes go. But, me, I'm not a prophet because of this, that, and the other. And they'll try to discredit, like Tiffany said, sweetie, this is not my audience. I'm so far gone from this. It's happening in a lot of churches, and specifically this one. And it baffles me because I was thrown. Okay, let's go. So, yeah. This person comes on to me and, they're like, this time the other new to church. And I'm like, whatever. I start pushing him to a different crowd of people because I'm not trying to mess. This is after the first encounter where I had gotten this, that, and the other. You need to go to counseling. You need this, you need that, you need this, all this other stuff. So this guy comes on to me. I said, whatever. He ends up finding out that he's like underage person. And I'm like, whoa. No, first of all, there's nothing sexual anyway. The fact that you continue to, Jay, can you give me a ride? There was nothing like that. There was nothing sexual crazy, but I can tell that that's what this person was probably on. And so that sent nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. And it got wind that I was downtown. So happened this person's downtown. Oh, would you like to see? Of course. Oh, Jay, let's somebody from the church sees us walking, and now all of a sudden I'm in a relationship with this person and I'm sleeping and taking advantage of this person. Sweetie, how did you get all that information off of seeing 2 obvious gay men walking down the street? How did you get that conclusion? So I was brought in to this meeting and sat down. The apostle was not there. We had the right-hand man and 2 other executive pastors or assistant pastors. I'm not sure, whatever the titles you want. They sat me down and they said, well, I hate to do this, but we got to ask you to leave All Nations. And I said, huh? You mean to tell me, first of all, you're asking me to leave. Second of all, this is my father. Third of all, why isn't he here to tell me any of this? Oh, because he's hurt. So forget my hurt. Forget me. Because we don't hurt. Normal people don't hurt. We don't deserve to hurt. All of our hurt came from the world and we need to get delivered from that. Oh, but the hurt of a leader, betrayal. Sweetie, no, not betrayal, not Judas. Nobody should ever think of themselves as Jesus to be thinking that you have a Judas. No, not Judas. More like Moses. And Pharaoh's time is just pretty much up. So I was told you cannot come to All Nations. You cannot come all the way to this side of town and attend this church. You cannot attend any church that affiliates with this church, with our church. You cannot attend any activity that this church throws, any event that this church throws. Any church that is in relationship to this church, that event that they throw, I cannot attend. Sweetie, first of all, what you're telling me is not to go to church. What you're telling me is to just basically sit down, go to church in Indiana or something. Probably not even that. And it says you are to go to counseling. This happened in November. It was like, we're going to assess you. And based upon if you go to counseling, if you seek help, if you get therapy, you can come back January 1st. So I get this counselor in the church also, who I don't know if she's actually licensed. So let's talk about that malpractice. But if she is, great, amazing. At the time, I hope she was. I love that woman to death. But to understand how intricate the church works, but it's all just fraudulent to go about it. And I would not care if this was us talking about them. But no. When someone is as aggressive as that church, when someone has the balls to say, oh, this and that and this, that, you are to do this, you will die if this. Speak about false prophecy, calling death on people, calling darkness and curses. That you will be accountable for. That will not stand as a prophet. No. Especially on those who leave. I have left, and since then I will go back, but I am in a relationship with my fiance, who is a male, and we will be getting married, and the curses that have came from that man's mouth once he found out was just amazing. I cannot repeat it. But the curses that he has said of this and that, and this is going to this, and everything you touch, and this, that, and the other, and the script of a Jezebelic spirit. I love Jezebel, because Jezebel will tell on herself and tell you, stand straight up and say, I'm not Jezebel. Look you straight in her face, in its face, and say, you're not Jezebel. No. But that's talking is Jezebel. Yes, it is. So basically, hold on. So I was told to do this. I go to counseling. I'm there. I am meeting weekly. Then there was a few times where the counselor was like, I can't meet this time. Let's save it for next week. I was like, okay, sure. Then the next week came and it was like, I'm so sorry, we have this going. And I'm like, okay, that's 2 weeks I miss. I mean, technically I ain't paying for it, so okay. The third week, something at that point, I don't chase niggas. No. 3 weeks in a row, you reschedule my counseling session when I'm getting ready to go. Okay, whatever. So she honestly was not that biased. I don't know. I don't think they still attend, but she had told me January 1st came around when I was supposed to be let back into the church. And I didn't say anything because I'm passive. I'm the one who did wrong, So I feel like I don't have a voice. I shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't question these people. It's whatever they say. And so I go ahead and I say, she talks to me, January 1st is here. Did anybody reach out to you? No. January 5th is coming. No, you need to reach out to them. If they made a deal and said that January 1st you can come back to church, if you go to counseling, if you do this. And I did every single thing that they had told me to do. I didn't go to church for 2 months. I even begged and pleaded with the pastor to say, can I come to this annual conference that I've never missed in like 9 years, in 8 years, whatever. I never missed. I love, this is my favorite time of the year. I said, I'll sit by the counselor the whole time. I will be escorted. I don't even care. I just want the presence of God. I just really want to be in that worship. I really just want to get the teaching. No. Okay. Damn. No. Okay. January 6th comes around. I contact the right-hand man. We're waiting on word from Apostle. In my head, but you said January 1st. I did everything that you said to do, but okay. So, January 1st. Here comes January whatever. Here comes the end of January. I'm saying, hey, what's going on? We were still waiting on word from Apostle, February came around. Hey, what's going on? It's a whole month. We're waiting on word from Apostle. March comes around. I get a call from the other executive pastor, and it's no matter what happens, I still want to be here for you. And I trust him. I love him. Amazing person. And March comes around and it's just not talking. So why 3 months? You mean to tell me a 3 months that's like you told me I was gonna get off of parole January 1st and you're playing with me? Like, what kind of stuff is this? So go ahead, and at that point I start to lose desire to even return, because they were doing it I talked and I reached out. And even still then we had this, and it was like, well, at that time we were hurt. This was happening. This was a lot for me. You don't understand my perspective, and me. Sweetie, I'm the one who went through the mess. Did you not understand that? I'm the one who had to pick up my stuff and not have nowhere to go as an early 22-year-old person who's been living in this house for so long, who has raised children there, who has done all of this, and yet I cannot return to church, but you can hire someone who is sleeping with the other person that you hired. How is that? And don't sit here and tell me not to drag anybody's name, not to do this, not to do that. That's the problem with the church. Why is it that leaders are held with a higher level of respect than regular people? The fact that I have to say regular people is a shame. And it's nothing new under the sun, period. And so that's that. All of the stuff that has happened that Tiffany has said, I believe her 100%. And I'm tired of people being called witches. I have seen people leave the church, people that I still talk to. People who left because of pregnancy, because of relationship, because of whatever. Sweetie, why are you coming so hard for the gays and almost all of your people take it or give it? Huh? Why? And as a prophet, dang on well, I gave hundreds of warnings. I would say it all the time. Change your clothes. I can see your dick print. Do this. I can do this. Do this. Do that. This is not the way the kingdom is supposed to be ran. Watch this person. They're still dealing with this, and I don't care about people dealing with stuff, and that's the problem, because people can deal with things. Oh, we're dealing with them. They're doing this, we're doing that. Sweetie, you only love the people who want to change, but only if they want to change and become a part of the church. Because if not, no. Rip all of the resources that you've given them while they were there. So all the free cars, yeah. If you leave, excuse me, darling, that's on our church name. Give me that back. And that has happened. Money.